Hello guys, it's Susanna here. Do you remember this wreath with this cute little birdie that I've got on there? Well, I am going to do the birdie, and I've got the pattern here, which I'm just going to photocopy off and send in the mail as a letter. So, you know, that's how it will be sent. So if you want to go onto my website and grab yourself a pattern, I really love how he turned out. And I've got a reel, and I'm going to put him on a reel and use him like a pin cushion or just even an ornament. So this is my wreath that I made, that I misplaced the footage of. I made a wreath for my sister for Christmas using similar stuff for this, and I made the robin for me, and then I had a really cute little bunny. So I sort of made up the pattern. So today we are going to be doing the robin, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, back again, and I'm zoomed in. I just thought I needed a bigger screen for me showing you the wreath and everything. So okay, so I've got all the bits and pieces I've needed. I've cut out some. So on the pattern, these are my template patterns. You've got, cut out 2 bodies, 2 wings, 1 beak, 1 breast gusset and 1 head gusset. So I've used felt and I've used wool. I got this beautiful wool from like the Stitches and Craft show, so I wanted it to have a red breast, and it got made as I'm like, oh yeah, it needs that, no it needs this, so it sort of just got made somehow. So the beak, I had this bit of brown, so I just put that on the corner there and just cut around to show you. Some of the stuff I just pre-cut because this is going to take a little while. So that's the beak, so we put that away. And this is really nice felt that I got from Gail's Patchwork. I would recommend, when you're using this, you really do need to use a good felt. With the wing, where is the wings? They were here a second ago. Are they attached to this? Okay. Don't you just hate it when that happens? No, so there's the, oh, here we go. Here's the wings. I've already cut it out. So what I did, the first lot of wings, I just fold it up in the thing, put that on there, and you fold it because you need 2. So whenever you're doing something that you need 2 of, I've got my needles here. I'm going to use, just fold it in half. It's the easiest way. I'm just going to cut around it. You can do this and get your friction pen and draw around it. But when I made my the mice, I found that it smudged, so I thought I'm going to do it this way, probably the easiest way. I'm not sure whether a robin has a tail like this because they're more a European bird. I just made it like that because I just think they look cute. They probably do, but probably not that big. So if you're in Europe and you know that they got a smaller one, just cut it off a little bit to suit it. Okay, I think she's right. So I'm going to take off this, put the bits and pieces over here. So there's my body. And all this is going to be hand sewn. And when I hand sewed my other ones, with my one, the breast, I didn't do it blanket stitch, and that part sort of was coming apart, and on the head I did. So I'm going to use blanket stitch on both of them. So when you get like that, just, you know, cut. And with felt, it's really hard to see what's the front and what's the back. I think this is a bit rougher, so that's the outside. Yep. There is an outside and an inside, I think. Well, they just need to be lined up, so it's all good. That's why when you fold it over, at least you know it's going to have both the outside ones. Oh, got this. And keeping the little leftover bits for another project that I'm doing. Just cut these off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is the background colour that I used to do Roger and Rosie. So this is the body. So you just sort of get a light beigey colour. And the wings, I've sort of gotten a little bit of a darker colour. These are really hard to tell what's what. The beak. Okay. So now I've just got to remember how I put it together. The beak goes like this, and we're just going to sew along there, and then you turn it inside out. That's the hardest part. So we'll leave that along there, make sure that it's sewn. Now I think I did the opening down the bottom because that's going to be sitting on your cotton reel. I got a fairly big cotton reel. I got this in, was it at a mill market or something like that, and I grabbed this because it's a bit bigger. You know, that would be really good, but it's just too big. So something like that, and I wanted to keep, it had that on there as a crochet, and then I'll put it on here, and I think that'd be nice enough that we can, you know, big enough that good pin cushion, or just a cute little ornament. Okay, so I'll put those guys over there. So I've got all this here, move these, and because most things are different colours, where did my breast go? There's the wings. I just moved it over. Oh, it happens all the time. It drives me batty. Is it on the floor? Hang 10. I'm just going to pause quickly. You wouldn't guess where this was. I was looking everywhere going, oh my goodness, it just got up legs and walked. It was attached to the wreath. Okay, we'll start again. Keep going. Oh my goodness, things, it just frustrates the heck out of me. Things just disappear, and they obviously attach to stuff. I was looking everywhere. You've got to laugh. Okay, so I'm going to, the first thing we need to do is actually sew this. So I'm going to use, I think that was the colour that I used for that. I'm going to use some of this. Here we go. So I've got the bits and pieces there already, and might use 2 strands. Okay. Now we need to get this. I mean, if you want to, you don't have to turn it inside out, but it gives it a nice little, because it's felt. So, you know, you can get away with just having a stitched piece. We just fold it in half and start at the top. We could probably get away with not having to fold it, because the knot's in the bottom. Might do a little pin because it keeps wanting to push forward. I mean, most of this ends up being cut off anyway, so just need to get rid of that knot. Sorry. Yep, got to push it down. I probably should have started at the other end, I'm thinking. But, oh, seriously. I'm not making this enticing for you, am I? Little Miss Perfection. I'm going to put the knot in a little bit further because it is just not working. The knot is not working. There we go. Push it down. Oh my goodness. Get the little pin. Yeah, I thought I won't make you turn it inside out. I think that's a bit much. Okay, so the knot's in a little further. Now this we just do just a little slip stitch. Make sure you catch it all in. And because it's felt, it doesn't fray, which is good. Okay, so if you want, this can go on the bottom half of the you know, at the bottom of the beak. Okay, I could probably move that now. It's great having a nice big mat. I hope I'm in camera. And oh, try not to rush it. I'm rushing because if I don't, there might be one when I do some of the blanket stitch, I may pause because the video will just take way too long otherwise. So now I probably may get out my glue stick. Now it doesn't matter if you see the knot because this is going to be inside the bird, so it's all good. Okay, so we just cut that, and I don't think I stuffed it. I think I just got to look back at my bird again. No, I didn't. I did not stuff it. So what we're going to do is that will go on the inside, and I may even cut some of that off, or just make it a little smaller just so it'll fit. Now it's got to go on the bottom, so we are going to put that there. Oh, also I've got eyes. I'm not sure how big they are. We will get the measuring tape. Okay, now here is, that's a millimetre, so that's an inch. So if you lay it down, it is that's 1/4 of an inch, so 1/2 a quarter, or maybe 5 millimetres, something like that. So they're not real big, but they're a decent size. That's what I had in my stash, and I had enough to do my one. Then I've got 2, so I may end up, I could make another one for a friend or a birthday present or something, because it's very cute. Now what I may do is I may just put this up here so that I can see my bird. I need to be able to see. I think he's cute. Hopefully it's, yeah, you can see a little bit of the thing, because I keep referring back and I need to. Okay, so because I made him a little while ago, I've got to remember how I did things. Okay, this is working on the fly. So, okay, what we will do, so you just put it there where the beak goes. I may put a pin in, so I might put a longer one and go in that way. Okay, because we do need to sew it in, but at the same token, the gusset goes just here for the head and just under here for the other gusset. So I'm going to quickly I'm just using something that's a good colour and it's fairly strong, so it's a you know, I think it's crochet, DMC, I don't know, it's the right colour and good strength. Okay, so what I might do, one good thing about having this big mat, you know, you don't hear that massive clunk sound that always happens. So okay, now you got to remember this is the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly grab it and grab hold of the beak, and we are just going to do a blanket stitch, because I found that to be the best one, and we'll do small blanket stitches. Okay, so at least this is in. Okay, grabbing hold of that last bit. Oh, must be the end of it because it's pretty tough to get through. Okay. Oh. And I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. And I might even just do a couple of going around stitches, if you know what I mean, because that's where the gusset has got to go. Okay, that's finishing it off. We will cut that. Okay, now I just pricked myself. Get everything in this video, and I've also forgot to get my stuffing. That's okay. So the gusset along the head, you see there's his little beak. Might be a little bit big, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, I think it's a little big. Okay, so yep, because it's not, my one is not as big as that. That's just way too big. Okay, we will undo that. See, I leave in all the mistakes because we need to. I'll undo that and then I'll pause and redo it, but I'll just show you how big. That's just way too big. They're all big and they don't quite have beaks that long. See, this is what I mean. I made it a while ago and I did it on the fly. So, you know, things are going to be a little bit different. Okay, and the good thing is it's not going to wreck the felt too much. Okay, I say too much and then whoops. It's because this last bit here I went around a couple of times. Okay, so what I'll do, let's straighten that up a bit. We are going to, I'm going to cut quite a bit of that off, so it doesn't matter. There we go, that's a little better. And then, yeah, so how big is that? We'll get in measurements. Maybe about 1/2 inch or 1 millimetre, or just a little bit over 1 millimetre. Okay, and that's still, the stitching is on the bottom. Okay, do that, and then I'm going to pause and I'll be back when that's been stitched on. So there you go. Okay, back again. Much better. Okay, much better. Okay, so now we are going to get, I think I use this colour. We will use that colour. Okay. I thought I'd try and match up the colours that I use to sew things on. So this is the top gusset. And now find out which is the right side. I think that's the right side. So this is the wrong side that we're going to be sewing it on. Now this gusset sits right there. Okay. And we're going, is there a knot on the bottom of that? Make sure you're not from the inside. So here, that top bit goes there. Okay, that's on the inside, but we're going to be using the, that's the knot that's on the outside. So, because it frays, you've got to really make sure that you catch it in, and you're only doing one side at a time. It seems weird, but that's just how it's going. Okay. Okay, now make sure you grab all of it. I just found doing this in the blanket stitch just held it together, because the felt is great, but the wool tends to come undone, and you don't want that. But even when that happens, like on my one that I've got there, you just sew it. That's why it ended up with sewing this on the chest. But I kind of like it. If it sews okay, I'm going to leave it. But yeah. So we're going to go all the way around. And just, you know, bend it, and it's going to go around all the way down to there. It's sort of almost like his back. So I'll do one side on camera. And it's just blanket stitch. Oh. Okay. And because it is, you know, wool felt on wool felt, it just goes along with it. It's great. If you want to pin it, makes you feel more comfortable. Oh, be careful. When you do blanket stitch, you can do that. See, there's a bit of it's fraying. That's why. Oh, I'm going to undo that because it's twisted on me. There we go. Okay, so I'll wait till I get to the end. I mean, I'll pause and then I'll do the end and then I'll be back. Okay, when you get to there, make sure that you leave just that tiny little bit. Okay, and then I went over that a couple of times, securing that. Now, you could go on the other side and go and come back, but I just think, just so you know that it is going to fit, you're best going back to the top again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, see this part here, that's in the middle, and I'm going to go in there with my on the top, and then we're going to secure that because we really do want to make sure that it is down. Okay, I'll sit down. So you go in from the middle and it's all good. I might even just do a couple of stitches here, going around and around to make sure that it ain't coming down off that side. Okay, because you really want it to be secured. Okay, so now that we're there, come in the middle again, and we're going to sew the other side on. So I think this is why you really need to come in through here, because it needs to fit, whereas if it's, you know, down there, I might come in, and so basically once again doing a blanket stitch all the way around, and make sure you really do catch it, like put it in a fair bit. See, this looks a bit worrisome, so really make sure that you come in. If I have to go back, which I may, can always go like this. Okay, how's it looking? Has it caught? Yeah, see, I need another one there. Okay, I thought it looked like it was not being caught in that middle part. Okay, and then we'll go back over it. There we go. So I'll pause again and continue on until we get to here. Okay, and then that'll be attached onto there, and then we finish that off in that middle part there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I've sewn all the way down, got the little guy there, so this will be sewn with this thread. Just sew those 3 bits together, go all the way, and actually that's one thing I need to do on the pattern, leave a gap. Probably, well, the gap will be where the gusset ends, I think. So I think that's probably why I didn't leave the gap. So we'll turn it inside out just to have a sticky to see whether everything's okay. See, you've got the extra stitch. So that's the top of his head. And there's a little beak, looking cute already. So better turn him the wrong way around again. Now, do the same with this one here, the gusset. Now, which is the right side? Oops. I know that it's looks like it's been cut a little crooked. Okay, so the bigger bit goes on the bottom, and I think, is it the right side? Hang tight, hop down, have a look. So we do the same. Start here, go one side, and I'm going to start it there, and I might do a couple of, like a bit of a stitch, and then we're going to go all the way, and there is a point, so that's where you stop there. And we'll do the same as what we did with the gusset on top of the head. Just do really close blanket stitch. Also, we need to get, I forgot about to let you know, I've just got chenille stem, one of these. I don't know how long this is. Oh, 6 millimeters by 30 centimeters. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut that in half. So we'll just use one of these. And one side's going to be for the tail. And then cut one in half again. Probably shouldn't use those, probably use something else because that'll wreck it. Okay, so that's what you need. And that's going to be one's for the tail, and then these two are going to be folded over and twisted a little bit. And use them for the wings, to keep the wings sticking out. Okay, I might as well fold it over while I'm here. Okay, so I'll see you when that's being sewn on. I'll be back. Okay, well, we've sewn all the way up to here. What we need to do is get this thread here, and we are going to sew all the way like I've started sewing. If you want, you could probably get away with just doing a normal stitch, because this is frayed, the felt is not. So I'm just going to be on the safe side and do the blanket stitch, but you can do it fairly quickly. Go all the way around. Okay, actually, you know what, I am just going to do a very quick stitch. Because you can get away with it, and unthread the needle. So I'm going to just quickly do it. If you're going to do this stitch, make sure that you do them fairly close together and pull them quite tight. But yeah, you can get away with this on when it's felt on felt, because felt doesn't fray, whereas the wool does fray a bit, and it needs the extra security of the blanket stitch. So I'm going to go all the way around. Not too bad considering it's all hand stitch. If you're not a hand stitch person, you can always do this on the machine, but I personally think it's probably easier doing it by hand. Now, I have got to sneeze, so I'll pause and then I'll come back. Back again. Didn't need to hear the sneezing. So stitch, you could probably stitch a little lower, but I think that's enough for me. I just stitched it off. Now this is the bit, especially the tail, which is a little bit trickier, where we turn everything inside out. Okay, that's why you need a little bit of room, because it can be quite frustrating. Okay, push him through. I've got my little gadget. That's what I'll use for the tail. Okay, and then this is where we see if we've, you know, stitched it close enough and whether we need to do some hemming. Now, this guy here, I find can be quite tricky. So sometimes when you push the end, yep. Okay, got him coming over. This is my thing that I got from a friend, that pink, that purple thing, I think it's called. I'm going to try and slowly push the tail out. There we go. Grabbing it from the inside and pushing it up. So this is something I may do off camera. You're probably going to, this is the bit where you go, oh, that's Susanna. If you know an easier way, let me know in the comments. There's never any easy way. So I might pause and try and turn the tail inside out. I'll be back. Okay, back again. You just got to sort of push it, and I'm just pushing that last little bit out with the end of this. It is tricky. Yeah, but rather cute. Now we are going to go around. I may fix that once it's stuffed. See how that's sort of fraying? I'm going to come back in there once it's stuffed. I'll have a look. That looks pretty good. Now, what we do now is we've got the stuffing we need to do. And because it is felt, you don't want to overstuff it. Oh, it looks cute. Now, we're going to do this with the tail, twist it around. Stick it up the tail. We might even be able to cut some of this off. We'll see how we go. So we don't stuff the tail, but we do put some of that in there. I might cut some of it off and make sure that it's well and truly twisted, and we might even just put it up there. There we go. So now we get, so yeah, so put it in so it reaches the end, and then push it across like that, like up there. Okay, so we don't need to stuff the tail, but I do need to do some, yeah, so I can see there's my knot of that guy. These knots are determined to come through, I tell you. So I've got to be careful. I will come back with some thread to make sure that that stays down. Okay, now we're going to get our fluff. Bits of fluff here and there, and we'll do it in small sections, little sections. So we'll start with the head. Just put it just only little bits, and we'll push it up. Little bits. Once it starts filling, easier to hold with one hand and stuff with the other. All depends whether you're left or right-handed, or, you know. There we go. Get your finger, just push it up. We sort of want to get a bit of stuffing in there, but at the same token, don't overstuff it because felt does stretch. Okay. Oh, he's cute. Cute, cute, cute. Sort of. Okay. Now, if you're going to use this as a pin cushion, you may want to stick some, you know, you could probably put some, what's that stuff called again? Where is it? This stuff, the walnut shell. Just everything dropping everywhere. You could probably put some walnut shell in there. That'll make it fairly heavy. Geez, it's very fine. So, and that would be, you know, put that in the top there. I think that might be nice, but it might be good on the bottom too, so it can sit on the on this guy. Where is he? Yeah. So maybe have a bit of walnut shell down the bottom there. I think I might do that just to give him a bit of balance, because at the moment he's very light. So yeah, that's gonna prove to be a pain. So I'll fill it in as much as I can, and then maybe come in with a bit of walnut shell to give it a bit of heaviness so that the bottom will sit nicely on this guy. So you can see just how much you put in, and see how important it is that you really do stitch it well. So now I'm trying to give him a bit of roundness down here. I'm hesitant to open it up. And put it in there. Okay, oh yeah, I think it'll be alright without any walnut shell, but you can put it in if you want to. Mine's probably going to be more of an ornament than a pin cushion. Okay, now he does look elongated, but that's just how it is. Once you get the feathers, not the feathers, the wings in there, which are here, it's not too bad. See, I think I'm gonna put all of that in, rather have him looking a little chubby. So you go, you saw how much I had at the start, you end up putting all of that in. Okay, so now what we are going to do, I'm going to get this thread here, and we will stitch it up. And I'm just going to stitch it with a, you know what, I'm going to put a little more in because I think it needs it. Because I think he needs to be a bit more sturdier in the butt. Okay. Let's tuck it down underneath. Down. There we go. I'll put him out a little bit later. Now we can do a just this slip stitch, or you can do a ladder stitch. I'm going to just do a slip stitch because you can sort of see the slip stitch in here anyway, and it's at the back. I mean, a lattice stitch makes it disappear, but because you can see this stitching on the back anyway, I thought I'll make it that it works the same. Most of the time you do lattice stitch. Push it down. The stuffing is almost the same colour as the bird. Oh, no, too close, it's going to pull through. There we go. Okay. See the red stitch fairly close on the bottom. And then I'm going to go in, pull, go in, and then almost come back in like that. Pull that out. Okay. Now, this is where we shape him a little bit. Okay. Push that down. I want that to be flat because he needs to sort of sit on there. There we go. Pushes it all out. I am going to come back in and fix that up. He's got a straight little tail. Oh, he's cute. And yeah, like now I'm going to just do a little dot where I want the eye. I think that's about right. Okay, now we need to get, I'll put that away. We need to get some black. Okay. So that we can put the eyes through. And we need to get a fairly longish. How long? It should be all right. So yep. Cut it on an angle. Okay. Oh, okay, well, that'll do. I think that'll work. Might have been when I did the last one. Okay, get all these bits and pieces and move them out the way. Now, looks about right. Put it through. And give it a bit of a gentle tug because we want it to come through. And up. Cut that. I think the knot's probably a tad big. There we go. Got it. Now, put it through here. And then go back down and through this hole. And pull. Put this other guy in. Keep it so it's on camera. Now, I'm wanting it so that, you know, you don't see the round part, but you see the side of it. And it looks more bird-like when you pull it. Okay, so we're going to go there and pull it in. Go over through, over the top. pull it in, go through here, go through a couple of times so it's got pulled in by both sides. Go through, sorry, pulling it towards myself. Go as close to the eye as you possibly can. Yeah, so you don't want that. And pull that. Oh, he's cute. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here, pull that, do a loop, push it, pull, you know, put the loop as close as you can, really give it tight. Then you go back through that hole that you've made and come out here. There we go. So it's all stuck on the inside. Now it's pulled his head in, which is really good. He's so different to my one that I've got there. It's amazing. I made the same one, but yeah, pull, cut, it'll go in. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, what I did on my one is I got, where was it? I think I got this thread here, and I just stitched around the eye and then sort of around the side. Now, oh, it's so cute. Now we're going to do the wings, and on this one here, they're too big, we can cut them, which I think they do seem a little big. There we go. Okay, just shaved off a little bit, or also gave it more of a, you know, a rounder tinge. Now, he is going to go about there, so we'll pin that down. And put the other guy in, about the same. Look at it from this angle. Yeah. Oh, this one's probably a bit too close, maybe. There. Okay, we'll pin him. Okay. Now, what I did, did I use this one? Can't remember. It seems a better colour, doesn't it? I think I might have. I wonder if I've got anything in the... No, sort of like a grey colour. Nope. Nope. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Grey colour. No, I think that one's probably the best. Stick with the right colour. Okay. We'll just get 2 strands. That's all we need. Okay. Actually, okay, and then we're just going to do, oh seriously, a slip stitch to sew it on, and we're not going to sew all the way around because we want a little bit of movement. So I'm sewing, go on the inside from here. What did I do on this guy? Yep, there we go. Now this I think needs to be a little bit more rounded. It's a bit too pointy. There we go. The same with this one. Yeah, it needs to be rounded. Okay, just a smidge off. Now we didn't put any stuffing in. I don't think I did. No. So we're going to start about here on the inside. Put the knot on the inside because they're a bugger. And we're just going to stitch that down by doing a slip stitch, and it'll catch on the tail and everything else that it does. I'm going to leave the pin in there because I really don't want it to move. See, told you. It'll catch on the tail. Every time. Yeah, try and get it that we don't catch on the tail. Yep, good. Now we probably could take that out. Hopefully it's going to stay put, not move on me. I'll do one wing and then I'll show you what I do with the bit of chenille. Okay, thought I'd just leave it going. It's going to be a longer video, but you know, we do it where we're dealing with real time, so if you need to fast forward, you can. I think he looks rather cute. Now it's going to get caught on the beak. Okay. And because I only used 2 strands, I've got more left over, and so I'll have enough to do the other side as well. I just love working with felt. It's so good. Now, we'll see where we go. I might go up a little higher this time. Okay. We want that to leave that there for now. So what we're going to do, we've twisted it, put that in, sort of leave that a little bit round because it is the shape of the top of it, and we're going to have it so it's just sitting there, that the wing just sits out a little bit. When you look at it from the back, you can see it a little bit, but it doesn't look too bad. Just enough to push the wing out and give it a little bit of movement. I think that's enough. I've already done a knot, but I'll do another one. And come out through there. Okay. So you can see the difference between the movement of that wing compared to that. It fills it up and pushes it out. Oh, it's cute. And even seeing a little bit of that white, it's not so bad because wings can sort of look like that. Okay, so that's what I'll do on the other side. On the beak too, I did a stitch line. Actually, well, I've got this colour, I might use it, because I was going to use this colour. It's fairly much the same. I'll do a very small knot. And I might even come in way through, and I'm going to pull that so it comes through. There we go. Now, going to stitch it across. I don't think it goes on the other side, so we may have to go around. To the other side. Just gives him a little bit of a, like a beak. Might even go through to this side. That goes around. And pull it. Make sure that it's on the edge. There we go. Because we want it to go, pull that front part of the beak in. There we go. And then we're going to just do a bit of a back stitch on that side. This is a step you could probably miss if you find this too tedious. I understand. But it's just adding a little bit of detail. And making the beak have a little bit of something, something. Okay. Now we're going to do a knot. I might actually grab that. Yeah. And yep. And pull it down. Come on. There we go. You can always stuff it back within itself. Okay, so there's that. Oh, he's short. I think I will like and see how that sort of sits flat there. It sits beautifully on here, and the colour I think is a ripper. So what I'm going to do is get, where's that other needle? Get this, and then I'm going to sew around the eye on the one side, and then we'll go through to the other. It does make a bit of a difference. It doesn't feel like it, but it sort of like pulls it in and gives it a little bit of something. Okay. Okie dokie. And then I don't reckon we need to. The reason why I did, hang a minute, I'll show you. The reason why I did this stitching on this guy is because it was starting to fall apart and it was opening. And I don't think we need to do stitching on that one. I mean, you can if you want to. That was a more of a, you know, I think it needs this. Okay. I'll do a little knot. Cut it. Bring it in. Seriously, did it too. I might just come in. I pulled it too close and it come completely out. Okay, now we're just going to do a running stitch. I'm sorry if this is going to take a while. Just going to do a running stitch. I grab that in and around just around the eye. And you could almost, if you wanted to, pull that, which pulls it in a little bit, but no. So, and then we're going to come out where we started, and I like to do just a bit extra along there. I'm going sort of on a bit of a curve around like that, up to about there, and then maybe a couple more up on the top. Could almost be like an eyebrow. Okay, so I will come in there, through there. Can you see what I've done? It's really cute. So now I'll move that around. So yeah, we're just going to go around. So little things that finish it off. Okay, and because this didn't quite join, I'm going to go all the way around. Okay, here we go, and then we'll go back up there, have a couple of stitches here on the top, give him a bit of personality. How many do there? I think 3. Yep. And then I come in from here, about there, and go down. Don't know how many did I do there? I did a few. Probably a bit too wide, but that's okay. Okay, we are going to come back there. He's so cute. Okay, now I'm going to do a little knot. Now, I think I knotted it not close enough. Okay, and then back through the hole. Because it's a double knot, it's a bit tighter. Okay. And there you have Mr. Robin. And he does need his other wing put on with this little bit, but basically he is done. So we'll just, okay, where's that? There, coming up there. Yep, gotta have it on a bit of an angle. Yeah. Okay, I like to squish his nose down a little bit. I am going to fix that after and stick him on here. He's so cute. He's so cute. I may end up doing some stitching on here with this because it's beautiful thread, but it has already got these beautiful little, you know, the brown bits in there. I think it looks okay. That's why I chose it. So I may, you know, go around and so look, we're going to push that back in to see if that sits. I may go around, hit this guy a little bit. Might even use that. That's quite nice. But yeah, let's look this once again, all these knots that seem to come forward. So if you wanted to use him as a pin cushion, you could, yeah, there he is. I'm going to see if I can try and trim some of that off and push it in. Come on, in you go. You've got to go back into the felt. That's where you belong. There we go. Should be okay now. Grab the felt in and around. There we go. See? When the knots come out, you just got to push them back in. Well, I am really happy with how he looks. I'm going to sew the other wing on off camera and glue him down onto here. I think I may have to get some of the, what's the same glue that I use for my my wreath. What's that stuff called? The hot glue. Yeah, I think that will sit on there. Go around here, or I can do craft glue, which will work as well. Bonds, fabric, paper, leather, blah blah blah. Dries clear. So just sit it on there. I will do my my wing first, and then I'll do that. Okay, 43 minutes, not too bad. Oh, he is adorable, so cute. Hello. So, and what we are going to call him? Yeah, I'll see whether I do some extra stitching, but I love how he looks. So you can go onto my website, grab the, it's not a digital, it's actually going to be a pattern, and then watch how you do it on this. And I think I'm going to probably put it in craft projects under my on my listing of the playlists, so you know where to find it in the craft projects. Kind of like how he sits, and he's going to sit rather nicely. Okay guys, thank you very much, and I will catch you in the next video. We'll just sit him down there for now. He is adorable. Okay, you'll see the finished where everything is done, and he's on here in the thumbnail. Bye. Show me yours on the website. Stitch Vintage Treasures. Bye.